Okay, so in the last class, we have seen a Smith chart problem. So we'll do another problem based on this concept. Any doubt on the last problem? Anyone? Anyone having any doubt? No doubt? Okay, write down. A load of 100, J 150 ohm is connected to a 75 ohm lossless line. Find first point reflection coefficient gamma, then SWR. Third point, the load admittance, YL. Fourth point, input impedance at zero point 0.4 lambda from the load. Fifth point, the location of Vmax and Vmin with respect to the load if the line is 0.6 lambda long. Sixth point, Z in input impedance at the generator. Complete. So load impedance is given, which has been connected with a 75 ohm lossless line. So what is this 75 ohm? It is the characteristic impedance of that lossless line. So they have been specified only this thing, load impedance and the characteristic impedance. We need to find out reflection coefficient. We need to find out SWR. We need to find out load admittance. We need to find out Z in at 0.4 lambda from the load. Okay. Then fifth point, the location of Vmax and Vmin with respect to the load. So from the load, we need to find out Vmax and Vmin, maximum voltage, the location of maximum voltage, the location of minimum voltage on the transmission line. If the line is 0.6 lambda long, from the load end, we need to go up to 0.6 lambda. Then we need to find out up to 0.6 lambda where the location of this Vmax and Vmin exist. And we need to find out input impedance at the generator. Okay. So we need to go with Smith chart. This is our Smith chart. So first of all, we need to normalize all the impedances. So first point, the normalized load impedance. Z L. It is given ZL by given Z0. That is 100 by 100 plus J 150 by 75. It is coming out as 1.33 plus J2. Right? So we need to find out 1.33 circle, and we need to go with the curve of 2, the reactance curve of 2 and their intersecting point. We need to find out that. Right? Can you remember? We need to find out 1.33. So it is 1.2, it is 1.4, this is 1.3. So somewhere just below this, is it visible? Just try to have a look. This is your 1.2 circle. This is your 1.4 circle. Right? Right? This is 1.2, this is 1.4. So between these two, we supposed to have 1.3, but it is 1.33. So just below that circle. Then we need to go with J2. So as it is plus this upper half, right? So where is this 2? This is the 2 curve for the reactance, right? So we need to come down to the intersecting point. So somewhere here, right? This is the intersecting point. It is 1.3 circle. This is 0.2 curve for the reactance. So this is somewhere, this is the point, right? So let us go with this point. It is 1.4. So somewhere just above this circle. 1.2, 1.3. This is 0.2. So we can have this value here. 1.33. Okay. So next is we need to draw a line intersecting the origin and the point. Let us consider this is the load point P. This is the load point P. So we need to go with a line which intersects these 2 points. So by taking this point as the origin and this load point, we need to draw a line and we need to extend up to r is equals to 1 circle. We need to extend up to this point, right? Clear? So let us consider this point is Q. This is the Q point. So obviously we can easily find out the reflection coefficient, the magnitude of the reflection coefficient. How? By taking the ratio of, this is the origin O, OP by OQ, right? OP by OQ. So this reflection coefficient gamma, that is mod of gamma, it is OP by OQ. So what is this OP? We need to measure this distance, this line. It is coming out as 5.4. It is coming out as 5.4. Then OQ, this total distance, it is coming out as, it is 8.1. 8.1. approximately 8.1 centimeter. Both of them are in the centimeter. So if you take this ratio 5.4 divided by 8.1, it is 0.667. 0.667. This is the reflection coefficient. We can also find out numerically ZL minus Z0 by ZL plus Z0. Okay. Next, we need to find out the angle theta. Theta gamma. What will be that angle? The angle included within this gamma r axis and this line. Gamma r axis and this line. So this will be the theta gamma. This will be the theta gamma. This angle. It will be theta gamma. Right? So how much is this angle? Just try to go extend this line. You will find and scale with respect to this angle. So it is indicating 40 degree. This is start with 0, 10, 20, 30, 40. So on this scale you will find the angle. Let us consider it is 1 minute. So let us consider this is the angle. Let us give some point here, some name. Let us consider it is S. So this will be the angle POS. POS. It is coming out as 40 degree. Okay. So this is our desired gamma value. So what we can write about this gamma? Therefore, the gamma will be 0.667 angle 40 degree. Right? We can also check by taking numerical value by using our numerical expression ZL minus Z0 by ZL plus Z0. Next, we need to find out SWR. So how we'll find? We need to take OP as the radius and we need to draw a circle. That circle intersecting this gamma R in the right hand side, that point we need to find out. So let us draw this circle by taking this OP as the radius, right? Okay. So how much it is? This is 4, it is 5, right? So it is just above 5. So how many lines? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it is almost 4.8. This one is almost 4.8. So B point, we are having S is equals to almost 4.8. So let us check numerically also. If we go with this numerical expression for this gamma, gamma is ZL minus Z0 by ZL plus Z0. We can go with our numerical expression. So we are having 100 plus J150 minus 75, 100 plus J150 plus 75. Okay. So we need to find out this value. So we need to go with the complex mode in the calculator. We are having 25. This will be 25 plus 150i divided by 175 plus 150i, right? So we need to go with the polar form. So shift polar, sorry, it is coming out as minus, sorry, 505 plus J 0423. So if we go with this polar form, polar, it is 0.505 comma 0.423. It is coming out as 0.658. Angle is 39.95. 39.95. This is the numerical result. Okay. Same way we can find out numerically for this S. So S is 1 plus mod gamma by 1 minus mod gamma. So we need to put the magnitude only. So if we put, it will become 1.658. This one will become 1 minus 0.658 0.342. Let us take the ratio 1.685 658 divided by 342. It is coming out as 4.847. This is check. This is also a check. Okay. So it is almost near to the graphical result. Okay. Next, we need to find out the admittance. We need to find out admittance while. So you can find out if this part is your inductance, the same point in the below of this axis will represent admittance, because you will find this says inductive reactance component, same it says capacitive susceptance. So if it is inductive reactance, that will represent at the same point capacitive susceptance for the admittance. Same here below this axis, gamma axis, if it says capacitive component, capacitive reactance component for impedance, same it will says inductive susceptance for the admittance. So to find YL, we need to extend this OP in the opposite side. We need to extend this one in the opposite side. So when we are extending, this line will intersect this circle again. That point will give you the value of admittance. Understand? While we have been having this load, depending upon this radius, we have been drawn a circle. Now to find out the admittance, this upper side, according to our given problem, this upper side we have been indicated as impedance. So obviously this below of this gamma axis will be your admittance. So we need to go with the exactly opposite point in the region which is just below this gamma r axis. So while we have been taking this point, it will also intersect this circle. The intersecting point with this line and the circle will give you the value of the admittance. So let us extend this line in the opposite direction. So this is the point which intersects. This is the intersecting point. So this is our, let us consider this is our P, this is our P prime. Let us consider this is our P prime. Okay. So at P prime we need to find out our admittance. That will be the coordinate, that will be the our normalized admittance. So multiplying with the given characteristic impedance, that is characteristic admittance, we can easily find out what is the load admittance. So at this point we need to find out, so we need to go with the circle. So if you see the circle, this is the circle, it is 0.2, it is 0.3. I don't know whether you can, it is visible for you or not, I don't know. Just think, this is the 0.2 circle, this is 0.2 circle, this is 0.3 circle, right? Is it visible? Fine, now it is visible. My hand is shaking. So this is 0.2, this is 0.3, right? So at this point, which circle it is intersecting? 1 2. So it is 0.24, right? 1 2 3 4 5. So we can say second one, this is the point, so it is the second circle, so it will be 0.24, right? It will be 0.24. Then for admittance, this is the impedance, this is the admittance. So we need to impedance, if it is inductive, the same thing in the below graph will be shows as the capacitive, so we need to take the negative. Just try to understand, this is the inductive part, it has been given as the positive, ZL as positive. So this below part, when we have been considering admittance, it will be negative. So which curve, you just take out, this is the curve, this is the curve. So what is the value? It is 0.3, it is 0.4. This one is 0.3, it is 0.4, right? This is 0.3, this is 0.4. So it is having this point. So this is the line. So 1 2, it is 0.34, right? 1 minute, 1 2 3 4 5, right? It is 1 2 3, it is 1 minute. Hello. Okay, so this is the curve, it is 0.3, it is 0.32, it is 0.34. It is not exactly 0.34, just a little bit above that, we can say 342, something like this, exactly if we go. So we can write this P prime, at P prime point, we are having normalized Y. I'm just writing another symbol, something like this, normalized Y L. It is 0.24, it will be the negative, J of 0.34, let us consider, or 342 more specifically, 34, this point is 0.3, it is 0.4, 1 2, just beyond this line also, so 0.34 let us consider. Okay, so this is the normalized admittance. So we need to find out the exact value of the admittance. So the load admittance, let us consider. Okay, I'm just writing this one as capital. So this one will be YL is equals to, we need to multiply with this characteristic impedance, we need to multiply with characteristic impedance, right? So that will be Z naught, now it will become Y naught, right? So Y naught into YL. So what will be the value of Y naught? 1 by Z naught, that is 1 by 75 into this value 0.24 minus J of 0.342. So let us multiply this value. So 0.24 divided by 75, it is coming out as 3.2 milli minus we are having 0.34 0.42 divided by 75, it is coming out as 4.56. 4.56. What will be the unit? Anyone? Milliwatt. What will be the unit? What will be the unit of this admittance? Huh? Ohm inverse of what is that? Siemens. Millisiemens. Okay. Next, this is our, yes. So this is point C. What is the fourth point? We need to find out Z in at zero point 0.4 lambda from the load. Z in at 0.4 lambda. So we need to move towards the generator. We need to move towards the generator from this load. So how much we need to move? We need to move 0.4 lambda. So as we said, at complete rotation will give you 720 degrees. So 0.4, a complete rotation, it is of, sorry, not complete rotation is 360. Lambda is of 720 degree. A complete lambda will give you 720 degrees. So we need to move up to 0.4 lambda. So let us find out 0.4 lambda. 0.4 lambda is in angular form is of 0.4 into 720 degree. So we need to move 288 degree from load towards the generator to find out the input impedance at that point, right? So this is our load end. We need to move further 288 degree, right? We need to move further 288 degree. Sir, sir, है सर कौन? हाँ हाँ जान आम्ही क्लास करायचे क्लास करायचे हाँ 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 जान So this is the load point. We need to move further 288 degree according to 0.4 lambda. This is the 0.4 lambda. Lambda itself. Huh? Yes. हाँ पहले वाला क्लास ऐसे मिस करते रहो तो और भी समझ में आएगा. पहले वाला क्लास जाके देखो कैसे लैम्डा 720 डिग्री होता है, फिर आके पूछना. ठीक है, पहले वाला क्लास पूरा देख के आओ, इसके बाद आगे पूछना कैसे होता है. So we need to move from this point up to 288 degree. So this is 40. Further we need to move 248 degree, right? Because from this point to this point it is 40. So we need to move from this point further 240 degree. So from this point it is 180. So 180 remaining it is how much? Just think, this is 40. From this point to this point it is 180. So how much it is? 40, 180, 220. Right? From this point up, this angle is 40 degree. We have already found. This angle is 40 degree. So from this point it is 40. From this point to this point it is 180. So it is 240. Further 48 degree. So from this point we need to move 48 degree, right? So 180 to 48, how much it is? 228, right? So where it is? 180, 190, it is 200, because it is having the division of 10 degrees. So it is 180, 190, 200, 210, 220, 230, 240. This is 240, this value 180, 170, 160, 150, sorry, 190, 200, 210, 220, 230, 240, then 48. So this is 10 up to this. Up to this point we need to move up to this point. You can use protector also to find out. Simply use protector from this angle, from this point you need to move further 280 degrees. One scale itself has been given on the Smith chart. You can use the protector as well to find out the exact point. So according to the scale which is visible from my side, I am just taking that point and I am just moving according to that. So I have been found that this is the angle, this is the point. So what we need to do, we need to connect this line with our origin. We need to connect this point with origin. Okay. So at this point we need to find out admittance, sorry, impedance, to have the input impedance at this point. That is what it says, zero point 0.4 lambda from the load. So this is the 0.4, this is the impedance point, load impedance point. From that we have been rotated up to 288 degrees. So this angle is 288. From this up to this rotation, this is your 288 degree. This is your 288 degree. So at this point we need to find out the our load point. So this is the point. So let us put some name for this. Let us consider it is R. So let us find out what is this point is. It is 0.2, it is 0.4, right? No, not this one. Yes, this is 0.2, this is 0.3. So it is intersecting 0.3. It is intersecting, is it visible? I don't know. Look, this R point, this is 0.2, it is 0.3. So it is directly intersecting 0.3 circle. Then at that point we need to find out the reactance curve. So this is 0.6 curve, this is 0.7 curve. So it is greater than 0.6. So this point is 0.65. This point is 0.65. So it is just above. So we can think about 0.63, right? So this point R, it is having the coordinates as, that will be our Z in, that is 0.3. It is above the gamma R axis. So we can say this one is plus J.63, right? So to find out the input impedance, we need to multiply with Z naught, Z in, Z naught, Z in. Same thing, whatever we have written here, same way. So Z naught is your 75. It is 0.3 plus J 0.63. So let us multiply. It is it will coming out as 22.5 plus J 47.25. 47.25. You can find out numerically also. You just simply use beta L. Let us go with that. Let us put a check. So what will be our beta L? Twice pi by lambda. L is 0.4 lambda. Lambda will get cancelled, right? So it will be 144 degree. So Z in is Z naught ZL plus JZ naught tan beta L, because it is a lossless line. So we need to go with beta L, Z naught plus JZL tan beta L. So it will coming out as 54.41 angle 65.25 degrees, which is if we go with the rectangular form, 21.9 plus J 47.6, which is almost equals to our graphical value. Up to this, it is quite easy. With given specification, we did all the things. Next, we need to find out the location of Vmax and Vmin with respect to the load. If the line is 0.6 long, so let us consider that same line, it is having the total length of 0.6 lambda. So for that length, from the load point, we need to find out the location of Vmax and Vmin. So 0.6 lambda, it is how much? 0.6 into 720 degree. It is 432 degree. So 432, what does it mean? A complete, we can say 360 degree plus 32 degree, right? So one complete rotation plus 32 degree. So from the load, we need to find out the location, right? We need to move up to 432 degree. So from the load end, if we are been starting from the load end, if we are starting from this load end, we need to have a complete one rotation. Yes, 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 yes. 432, right? It is coming out as 432. So 360. Right, 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 right. Yes, yes. Zero point 0.6. I'm just writing 0.6 into 720 minus 360. Yes, yes, 72 degree. Yes. Any further question? Any doubt? Anyone having any doubt? It is 72 degree. Any doubt? Hello. So how we'll move? From this point, we need to have a complete one rotation, further 72 degree movement, right? Further 72 degree movement. So let us have one complete, then 72. So we are having 40, up to this 40, then 32, right? Isn't it? So from this point, one complete rotation, it is 360, then 72, it is 40, then 32, it is 30. This is the point, right? Don't know whether it is visible or not. Up to this, it is 40 degree. So from this, we need to move further 32. This is 30, this is 40. So this first point itself is 32. So let us draw this line connecting origin and this point. So this is having the point. We are joining these two lines. Okay. So again, it will intersect this constant S circle. Let us put some name. It is G. Okay. So you just try to focus one thing. While we are been reaching this point G from P, we have passed the point, this point T once, the point S twice. So if you can remember at the beginning, as I said, it is, yes. Since it is the open circuit point, this point is the open circuit point. From this origin towards this point, it is the location of Vmax. On this part, it will have the location of Vmax. As it is short circuit point, it will have the location from origin to this side, it will have the location of Vmin, isn't it? Open circuit, maximum impedance, it will have the location of Vmax on this part, on this right hand side part of the gamma I axis. If we are having the short circuit point at this side, it is having the minimum impedance, so we can say it is the location of the V mean. So same way you will find this point in the left hand side, it came across this point once. This point, let us consider it is the point S. We are having one rotation up to this point, it is intersecting this point first, then again up to reaching G, we are having the twice rotation of this point S, right? So we can say this right hand side, as it's signifying Vmax, we can say we are having two Vmax, first and second Vmax, because we have been traveled a distance of 0.6 lambda from load point, right? So while traveling, we came across this Vmax twice, this V mean point once. So we can say we are having two Vmax, we are having one V mean while traveling a distance of 0.6 lambda. The distance must be specified. We can have one lambda, we can have twice lambda, then we can say different numbers of Vmax we have traveled. So according to given distance 0.6 lambda, we came across maximum point Vmax twice, we came across minimum point once. So one can say, as the location of S remains same, so is there the existence of Vmax in the same location? These two numbers of Vmax, either they have been located at the same location, because we have been came across this S point, this point S twice. So one may have the doubt that whether the location of Vmax, as you said that it is having two Vmax, so whether they all of them are having the same location. Obviously no, because first we have been visited this distance to have the first Vmax, then we are having one complete rotation and further this location rotation to have the second Vmax, and from load to this rotation, this distance we are having our first V mean. So what we can say, our first Vmax is located at an angle of 40 degree, because this is the distance, this is the angle of 40 degree. First Vmax is located at 40 degree. So we need to go with the lambda with respect to the transmission line length. So how we can find 720 degree into lambda. So it is coming out as 0.055 lambda. Same, second Vmax is located at how much? Complete one rotation plus this. So complete one rotation, it is 360 degree. 360 degree means lambda by 2 plus this, we have already loaded this much. Then again we'll come to this point. So second Vmax, it is 0.055 lambda. Complete one rotation, it is 720 degree. Then we can say it is lambda by 2 since it is 360 degree. Complete one rotation, it is 360 degree. But according to the length, if we rotate a complete lambda, if we go with the lambda, then it will give you 720 degrees. So obviously 360 degree means lambda by 2. So second location is 0.555 lambda. Then only one Vmin, only Vmin is located at, what is the angle? It is 0.55 lambda, 0.055 lambda plus 180 degree, right? From this point to this point, 180 degree means 360 is lambda by 2, 180 means lambda by 4. So 0.055 lambda plus lambda by 4. So it is 0.3055 lambda. Any confusion with this? Anyone? Any confusion? Next point, we need to find out Zin at the generator, right? We need to find out the Zin at the generator. So how we can find out? How can we find out this generator? Because the length is given as, what is the length? 0.4, right? That is what we already mostly derived. Where is that? No, sorry. We have derived the point YL at 0.4 lambda, right? Sorry, Zin we already derived 0.4 lambda at the generator. We can find out. Okay. So we have been rotated at distance of 0.6 lambda to find out the Vmax and Vmin. Okay. Next it says Zin at the generator. So while we have been moving in the clockwise direction, we have been came across Vmax and Vmin. So where we are right now, we have rotated towards the generator. This is clockwise rotation, means it is towards the generator. So if we rotate up to 0.6 lambda, we are at this point. So this point will tell you about the generator. This is the location of the generator. So at this point we need to find out the impedance. That will give you the Zin at the generator. Because while we are being moved a distance of 0.6 lambda, we are having, according to the question, we can find out Vmax and Vmin. We have already been found those values. Now at this location, while we have been rotated a distance of 0.6 lambda, we are right now at the generator. At this location, we need to find out the coordinates that will give you the generator. I just missed out that one. So at point G, at this G point, we need to find out the coordinates at point G, that is at the generator end. Zin, it is, I'm just telling you the coordinates. It will be 1.8. This is 1.8. It is below this gamma r axis, so there will be minus j. This curve is 0.2. It is 2. Sorry, it is 2. It is 3. So 1, 2, 3. So it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it is 0.22. 2.2. So it is the normalized Zin. We need to denormalize it. So actual Zin will be 75 multiplied with this value 1.8 minus j 2.2. So it is coming out as 135 minus j 165. We can put a check here also. beta L, we need to find out for 0.6 lambda. So twice pi by lambda into 0.6 lambda, it is coming out as 216 degree. So Z in, we can find out Z naught ZL plus J Z naught 10 beta L 216 degree Z naught plus J ZL 10 216 degree. We can also find out like this. Okay, procedure clear? Any doubt up to this? I'm just concluding for today. आयंदर, तुम प्रीवियस क्लास जाके चेक करो कहां पे मैंने ये बताया, ठीक है? फिर भी अगर तुम्हें समझ में नहीं आता है, नेक्स्ट क्लास मुझे पूछो, पहले जाके देखो मैंने पिछले क्लास में इसको बताया है कैसे 720 डिग्री होता है, ठीक है? फिर भी अगर समझ में नहीं आता है, नेक्स्ट क्लास में मुझे पूछो, ठीक है?